there to be had in the first two periods, and why weren't you able to grab it?
Yeah, I thought so. For 40 minutes, we played some good hockey. We had opportunities, weren't able to bear down on our chances. Careless sticks that led really to penalties, and they were very opportunistic. On the first power play, we have a little bit of a breakdown, but we have to manage our sticks better. At the end of the game, we got to manage our sticks better. But certainly for 40 minutes, we played some good hockey, and then it seemed to take the goal in the third period, took the wind out of our sails pretty quick.
You look at Leddy's season as a whole. How do you evaluate how he's?
Well, I think we're talking about 4 games, and I don't want to make too much about one mistake. Obviously, I'm sure he'd be the first to admit that he has to make a play there. He's going to be a better player for us. I believe he will be. It's a mistake. There's a lot of mistakes in that game. He's not just the only one that made mistakes.
On the Kyrou kind of goal, the early whistle, was it just say that the ball side of it? Or?
Yeah, I think it's just a judgment call. It probably was a loose puck, but if he loses sight of it, then it's, he's got to make the call that he thinks is right, and he thought at that time it was the right call.
I think we all kind of assumed that the Toropchenko high stick was late in the play. Was there something earlier in that sequence?
Yeah, it was before, so it was kind of around the tops of the circles.
What was Minnesota doing on the penalty kill to be so effective from there?
Well, I thought they did a good job at controlling the blue line and not letting us get in with really any possession, and sometimes you just got to go put it in and get it back, and we didn't do a very good job at the blue line.
You had mentioned the 4 goals that you gave up Friday were correctable mistakes.
Yep.
So are you still seeing just small little subtle things that tend to be magnified right now?
Yeah, you look at the first goal, again, it's a power play goal. Again, I said, we got to manage our sticks better. We shouldn't have to put ourselves in that situation. Again, it's an accidental play. It's not on purpose, but we have to do a better job managing our sticks. The goal against in the power play, it went off, I think the camera kind of stanchion, which jumped out, and they caught us, and they made us pay on the play, and then, make a mistake early in the third. Like, that's the game, and then, of course, we're chasing the game, and from there, you can't be continuously trying to chase the game.
When they go with 11 forwards and have Kaprizov for 28 minutes, how do you try to match up against him?
Well, I don't think you can match. You have to have trust in your lines that other guys can play against him, and I thought that the guys that were out against him did a good job. He's a very good player, but you can't just keep running out with the same guys all the time.
You had a lot of shot volume in the game tonight. Did you feel like you had enough quality chances to score, or were there some? It seems like there were a lot of missed nets.
There was some missed nets. There were some good opportunities their goalies had to make some good saves on. You'd always like to generate more, but there was opportunities for us to score, and we just got to bear down on those opportunities.
Not to make a mountain out of a molehill, but going back to Leddy for 1 second,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a veteran who had a lot of chemistry with Colton last night, do you take the approach last season, do you take the approach to just have faith in a guy who's continued to do it for a long time? Or?
Yeah, you want to give him some time to work it out, but in the same sense, we can't keep losing games or continuing to make the same mistakes, and I believe he'll work himself through it here pretty quick. Again, it's a game of mistakes. He wasn't the only one that made a mistake. I know it's magnified because it ends up in the back of your net, and it's a 2-0 game at that time. But he'll be fine. We just got to get him out of here. It's a group. We can all help him out. There's 4 other guys on the ice, and obviously, I think again for him, like, he understands what he did. He'll be the first one to say that was on him. But there's a lot of other things in the game that happen, and it's not just that one mistake.
A little bit, yeah. Obviously, I think they're just had a handful of shots here through 30 minutes, but think there's still some areas in the game where we could have probably tightened it up and kind of put more pressure on them even. I think we were a little sloppy with the puck coming out of our zone and just kind of coming through the neutral zone and whatnot, where we probably could have put our foot down a little bit more, knowing they were a shorthanded group tonight, dressing 11 forwards, and a couple of their top guys were injured. So just thought there was more to be had there tonight, obviously. The result is the result, but I think there's a little bit more from our group tonight.
It's just a couple of subtle mistakes here and there that's wind up costing you guys right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight. The games are, that's all it takes, and you just can't be sloppy. You got to make hard, direct plays, and it seems to be that, like tonight, for sure. I think we kind of did it to ourselves. Power play goal, shorthanded goal, and then going up for the third period, a quick one from them. So all 3 goals that probably could have been cleaned up on our end and not put us in that position. And that's maybe a positive, saying that those are the probably easier things to clean up. So hopefully we can do quickly.
On the shorty, what did the puck hit? Looked like you were in position there.
Which part?
It looked like the puck hit the wall over there and took kind of...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you're talking about the pass or what. But, yeah, it looked like it was going to come around the glass, and it must have hit one of the stanchions and popped right out in the middle, popped up in the air too. So, yeah, it's tough. Can't be giving up breakaways short-handed and giving them opportunities like that.
Would you make the officiating the Toropchenko penalty and the early whistle and the Kyrou goal?
The Torpo penalty was a penalty, I think. Wasn't on favor, if that's the one here. The one, whatever, that they showed on the Jumbotron wasn't what the penalty was. It was coming into the zone, he poked it, and then he went to lift his stick up around him. I think he got Middleton. I don't know if it got him. It looked like, I think that's what they were calling. Then the whistle, yeah, I mean, that's not my call. I can't, I didn't see where the puck was, so I can't really comment on it. They're making a call, and I think the puck was covered, and he was saying it was covered, so we just got to kind of defer to them on that.
The first 30 minutes or so seemed like you guys were controlling play. What did you like about the way you guys were playing this first half?
I think we got to our game. Got pucks in deep, created opportunities, and that's a good team over there. They capitalized on some of theirs, and it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth game for a little bit there, but I thought we did a lot of good things. I think we can improve on a few things as well and take that into the next game.
Are mistakes just costly right now for you guys?
Yep, I think so.
Nick, you and Colton had so much chemistry last year. I know it's early, but it just seems like a few have gone against you this year. Any rhyme or reason to what's happening?
I don't know. I think you're watching it too. Sometimes the puck goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. One hits off a skate here, one hits off a skate there, and it goes the other way. And I mean, there's luck involved in the game too. Unfortunately, in some of these plays, I just got to make stronger plays.
How are you kind of reading the Hartman goal as he's coming through into the zone?
I didn't see him. I think originally I thought it was offsides, but Kaprizov made a good play and he scored.
And on the third goal, just Kaprizov makes a good play there on you, or how are you reading that play as well?
What was that? Sorry.
The exit on the third goal, the Rossi goal.
I just got to make a stronger play.
The early whistle and what you were seeing on that.
It was a great pass by Tomer. Goalie made a hell of a save there, and I thought the puck was loose when I put it in. So.
Did you see it the whole time?
Yeah, I did.
Jordan, was that game there to be had for you guys, especially in the first 2 periods with the amount of opportunities you had?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had a lot of chances there, and we couldn't capitalize, and we let them get that one, and then they got a lucky break on the power play there, and we just let it get away from us, kind of.
What would you like about the way you guys were playing the first 2 periods, I guess, first 30 minutes?
Yeah, we're playing fast, aggressive, playing them in the yellow zone, playing quick, moving the puck, attacking the net, getting shots on net, driving the net. So I like that part of our game.
As many shots as you did have, though, were there maybe a few too many misses, though, as a group, you feel?
Yeah, I mean, we got to score for sure.